Go.
Okay, hello and welcome to the Adventures in Poor Taste podcast, aka Adventures in Podcasting. This week, we're going to try something a little different. Normally, we have a little bit of a schedule, we have a bit of an agenda of things we're going to talk about. This week, we're going to see what happens when we just kind of riff.
Oh, wait. We got someone here. Hello.
Sam!
Hey,
Welcome.
Okay, now's as good a time as ever to introduce my co-host. Welcome, Sam Roach.
hey guys. I'm Sam Roach. I'm the youngest member of AIPT, and I will be joining in earnest in just a few minutes. So please proceed without me.
All right.
Okay, we'll see you later, Sam. And also joining me is my...
Hey, guys.
So, Jordan, what have you been reading this week?
What I've been reading this week, Blue Exorcist. It's a series I picked up from the library. It's part fantasy, part art action, part comedy, part supernatural. It's a mashup, in other words, of Hellboy, Supernatural, Harry Potter, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all in one.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It focuses is on Rin, on a young teenager called Rin Akamura, a kid with a temper and abnormal strength, and his twin brother Yuko. They are raised by an adopted father, a priest, because their parents are either dead or out of the picture or both. And all is going normal for them until one day, Rin discovers he's the son of Satan, the most powerful demon ever, and is also part demon himself. When their adopted father dies, Rin vows revenge on killing Satan and joins something called True Cross Academy, a school run by a special organization involved in hunting demons and protecting the world. There he enlists in a special course involving training of exorcists, powerful warriors to fight these demons. The story has a lot of familiar elements, story points, roles, and such that you've probably seen a lot done before in other series and Japanese manga before. But what makes it a bit better is it likes to subvert these ideas, twist them around to give them a better, new, fresh feel to them. It also has a very good cast of likable characters, including the headmaster, who is another child of Satan. It's also extremely creative, with unique views and takes on different monsters. It's funny, it's heartwarming, has some very good-looking artwork. It's really enjoyable to read, and something I would recommend to people who's looking for a more popular, well-known manga that's actually very good.
As opposed to the popular ones that are not very good.
Like Naruto and Bleach.
Okay, then. Alright, good recommendation. As for me, I haven't, unfortunately, had much time to read much this week. I've got, waiting for me before I go to bed tonight, I got Daredevil number 3, Batman number whatever the latest issue is.
31.
And, yeah, 31. And Ms. Marvel number 4. But I did recently read Batman Superman number 11. I've talked about the series before. I haven't been too hot on it. This issue was probably the best issue yet, even though it's part 3 of a crossover that I haven't been reading. So I went into it kind of in the middle of it. Something's going on with Superman being sick with like Doomsday disease or whatever.
What comic is this?
Batman Superman.
Number
I see.
11. But it was the best issue of the series, largely because finally we have an actual team-up. Actually, that's not fair. The issue number 10, which was written by Jeff Lemire,
Yep.
had a team-up between Superman and the Atom inside Batman's brain. This
You've been
issue,
through over 10 issues and you still haven't seen a team up?
not between Batman and Superman. Like they haven't actually really fought alongside each other much. It's mostly been them fighting each other or fighting versions of themselves.
It's weird.
Alright.
This issue featured Batman teaming up with Wonder Woman in efforts to save Superman. And so Superman wasn't actually in the issue really, but it was kind of nice to see Batman and Wonder Woman teaming up. It was fun. The dialogue was fun. It kind of had sort of hammy dialogue, but still very charming. It wasn't a masterpiece. I'm not going to start putting this on the same shelf as I would put like Mouse or something like that. But just want to kind of update you guys on how I was feeling about the series. It seems to be getting a little better, just as my subscription is about to end next month.
Wah, wah, wow.
Wow. What about you, Sam? What have you been reading?
This week sadly enough, I had to move to a new comic book store, but the guy there was very nice. He worked out my subscriptions, so I got as Jason Aaron said it, The Bastards dropped to number 2 on my house.
That was a great issue. I gave it a 9.5.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
I sadly have not read it yet, but I will get to it.
Deadly Class was baller and tripping balls. I have Batman number 31. I haven't gotten to it quite yet. I got some back issues that I got Daredevil and Original Sin, and then I got Trees, but I have not read that yet. So a whole lot of nothing. I read a little bit more of American Vampire. I really liked Volume 4, so I was hopeful about Volume 5. Haven't really gotten into it yet. Only read the first 2 chapters or so, and I'm still trucking through Stray Bullets, although that it's baffling me now. I just can't understand it at all. But
really?
It's so enjoyable. Have you read past like issue 10 or so?
No, I only read up to issue 4.
Yeah, it's crazy. You should buy the omnibus though.
Once I have physical room for it, which I don't at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about that later. At some point I will get it. I won't get into the reasons why I haven't gotten it yet, just because it's boring. But I definitely want to read that.
It's a great read. There's just this one storyline that keeps coming up. It's about this woman called Amy Racecar. And she goes on all these crazy adventures. Either she's solving some like far-fetched mystery, or she's like traveling through space on like a dangerous high sci-fi mission or something. And that's all going on. And on its own, it's kind of weird and offbeat and not at all. It's kind of a departure from the regular feel of this series. But we just like it sort of plays with the idea that maybe this little girl in the series is Amy Racecar. She just hasn't grown up yet, or maybe it's her like alter ego, not alter ego, but like will to go to this place where she is this superhero pretty much, or it might be just a comic book she's writing and that we're seeing that comic book. It's really confusing and I don't know the definitive answer. I think he's told us, but I don't know it for sure. Me,
okay, well,
not
that's
so pleasant
exciting.
way. But it is really cool. I do like the book. Especially the one-off stories. Those are the best.
Okay, well, with that, we were going to talk about the poll list. We didn't get a chance to discuss with you, Sam, what would be your pick, but we have ours, so...
Please go ahead. I'll tell you if mine is included, and if not, I am going to tell you mine anyway, even if it doesn't fit the budget.
Okay, we just in case you weren't here, we came up with one for a third pick, but I think it's going to work out either way. You'll see what we mean.
Cool.
So, Jordan, what's your pick?
My pick this week is also the book we're going to be discussing a little bit later, C.O.W.L by Kyle Higgins. I really, really enjoyed it, but like I said, I'll get into it a little bit later when we discuss the book as a whole.
Okay. Sam, what's your
up
pick?
on the site. He gave it a 9.5. Do you want me to say mine?
Yeah, sure.
I really like Deadly Class number 5. I gave it a 9. I thought it was a great read. I thought it was definitely the best issue of the series yet, and it had some really cool writing techniques, and the art was awesome as usual. So I don't know. It was really a great issue, and I just really enjoyed it. I also loved Southern Bastards #2. I think Jason Aaron is having so much fun with this series, and like I take back what I said about it being like scalped because it's really more of a fun sort of like goofy story. Not goofy, like it's still gritty, but like the fact that he has this staff, it's like Moses.
Yes.
It's
Like
is it fun like Tarantino kind of level fun, where it's
yeah,
both serious
like
and fun?
he's letting loose.
It's a
he is,
little bit tongue in cheek.
Okay.
I don't know. I still like it.
That was gonna be my pick for the poll list. I gave it a 9.5 for whatever reason. The 2 reviews I did this week, I never do 2. I usually do only 1, just because of time. I did 2 this week for whatever reason. Both of them aren't up yet, but they hopefully will be soon. Because I gave Southern Bastards #2 a 9.5. I thought it was great. There is a scene at the end. I will not give it away.
Good. I haven't read it.
That felt okay. I recommend it.
Mhm.
That felt positively Eisner-esque to me, and by which I mean Will Eisner. It just
Wait, what was the other one you
raw,
reviewed this week?
What?
What was the other one you reviewed this week?
Oh, the other one was Dr. Spectre, Master of the Occult by Mark Waid.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, I heard.
I think I gave that a 7.
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
hearing mixed
I'm
things
a big
about that.
Mark Waid fan. Anyway, so yeah, that's Southern Bastards. Pick it up. The other kind of like a bonus poll list pick of the week is the Top Shelf Humble Bundle. It's pay what you want, but it goes to 2 really great causes. So I definitely recommend that whatever you could afford, try to give as much as you can. It goes to, besides Top Shelf itself, it goes to Doctors Without Borders and the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. 2 really fantastic causes.
One of the books listed there is Marsh, Book 1, which I definitely highly recommend.
Another book on there that I highly recommend is From Hell by Alan Moore. And why am I forgetting the other guy's name? Eddie Campbell. Eddie Campbell's the artist on that one.
Alright.
Probably one of my top 5 comics of all time. Maybe even in the top 3 or 2. I think it might be Alan Moore's best work. Which is to say, yes, it might be better than Watchmen.
It's at least better than Lost Girls.
I have not read Lost Girls. For all I know, it's a masterpiece. But I also happen to know that straight up porn.
Yes.
So,
Have you read Vendetta? V for Vendetta?
love V for Vendetta. It is
Really?
not
I just could not understand that book. I gave up on it.
Really? Try it again. Like, maybe if it might just be a thing that like it just didn't speak to you at the time. Was it the art that got you? Because I know that's been a sticking point for a few people.
I don't really get turned off of a book by the art alone. It has to be really crappy writing, and I just felt like the story was I just couldn't follow it. It was just not something I wanted to pursue.
Okay. Well, hey, not
It was a
everything's
year
for
ago.
everyone.
To be fair, it was a year ago, so I might give it another try. But the first read, did not like it.
Well, let's put it this way. Last year, you're 13 now. According to Jewish law, you are a man. You were not a man back then. And
Yeah.
maybe your new manly eyes will be able to read it differently.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure there are some parts I missed, and there were some like subtle nuances that I wasn't quite mature enough to see. But for the most part, it just seemed like it just wasn't that engaging a story.
Okay. Anyway, so that's the poll list for this week. We got C.O.W.L, Southern Bastards #2, Deadly Class #5, and the Top Shelf Humble Bundle. So,
Not a single all independent comics, by the way,
All independent comics.
which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hey, I love superheroes as much as the next guy, but I'm a comic book fan more than a superhero fan.
Well, one of them is a superhero book. Let's get to that. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
let's talk about
Cowl.
Cowl.
All right. Hey, since I probably liked it the most, I'll start off by saying it takes place in the early 1960s about a special comic book league union that's finally reaching an age of peace. They defeated their final big villain, and now the public seems to be wondering, are they still necessary anymore? They're still in the phase where they're still big and important, but not as much anymore. It's about their lives and stuff. I honestly liked it. It's like the first episode for a brand new TV series or the first 20 minutes of an interesting movie, is how I viewed it.
Or it could just be a good first issue of a comic. We don't have to put it on.
Well, that's how I would describe it in storytelling.
Yeah,
I'm just messing with you.
it did seem like it got everything set up nicely. I would like to say that it was a very good comic book. I thought it was nicely written. There were some good characters in there. The art was pretty great.
Oh,
None
yeah.
of it was for me. I thought I was not interested by a single thing. The art was too dreary for my taste. The action was sort of blah.
Confusing.
The characters just didn't like resonate with me. Even though they do seem like interesting characters, they just did not resonate with me. And I couldn't connect to it.
Yeah, I get how you feel. There's just some books that they're good. You understand they're good, but they just don't hit you. They don't mean much to you.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Gray?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed by this actually. I think I was hoping for a little bit more of the labor union kind of stuff.
Me too. I think that we'll get more into that later.
Then, I'm not really interested in reading another superhero book.
Especially if it has nothing new to it. Like, I'd rather see old characters that are already doing something new than new characters doing something old.
Right. Yeah. Because so far, the real kind of selling point of the series, the idea of a superhero labor union, it didn't quite get into that yet. Not really. I didn't get much of a feeling yet that they were talking about things that wouldn't be talked about with. Actually, that's not true. I was gonna say the conversations don't feel like they can't also be had by like the Justice League, but there's one scene towards the end that was pretty unique. I didn't dislike this comic. I think I was a little turned off by the art, which it's the kind of art that.
The artwork kind of reminded me of Phil Notto in a few areas. Here's the way with how the colors go over the line works, some of the faces, something like that.
It reminded me of Bill Sienkiewicz and a little bit of Dave McKean as well. That kind of just scratchy, kind of washed out colors.
It's done by a guy Rod Reyes, who normally is just the colorist for Justice League and other books Ivan Reyes has done. I think this is his first outing as a regular artist himself.
Yeah, he's definitely a talented guy, but it's, you talk about comic book art, and there's a difference between how the art works when you're looking at it as just still images and how they work in sequence. I think in terms of still images, Cowl works really well if you're just kind of looking at them not in sequence. It's the kind of thing that you could show to a non-comic book fan, and they'd be like, oh, wow, that looks really cool. You start reading it in sequence, though, I'm not sure how well it works as sequential art.
I'm going to look forward to seeing how he evolves as the series goes on, because I think since he is a new guy, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Right. If this is in fact a debut, it's a very impressive debut. But I think that's not to say that he doesn't still have work to do.
I think what both of you are saying is right. I think he will evolve, but I think also that it was for a debut issue. It was a little bit. It was impressive, like just the amount of attention to detail and the sort of mood of it. But I think it wasn't that impressive sequentially. And even though it was impressive art, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
That says
It's
nothing
muddy.
about
It's hard to follow.
Rod as a person or as an artist. I think he will do well because he has talent, but he won't sell books to me.
So, in other words, one big highly recommendation from us, from me, and you guys say it's good, but not for you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay, so take that what you will, people. Well, we're not. It's a good book either way.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to check in with you guys because there are a bunch of freebie books or podcast books that we do that we never come back to, and I'd just like to give you a little bit of an update about what's happening in Goof, because the third issue came out 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to tell you guys where it's gone from on the podcast maybe a month or two ago.
All right.
So our concerns on the podcast last time were that Greg, you said the dialogue didn't sound very natural. Jordan, you said you couldn't connect to the art, and I said I was having trouble with the morality of the comic book. Let me tell you, the art has been resolved. There was an artistic change. This new style is a lot less cartoonish, a little more subdued. It's very good. It's much better than the past one, but it still keeps in the spirit of the comic book.
All right.
So that has improved. The writing, I can't really say much about that. I think it's about the same. There's a hard-on joke where he said, "This is hard on me too, hard on me." That was
Wah wah wah.
lol. But the writing is consistently solid. Not anything special, but not bad by any means either.
All right.
As for the morality, the part I was most interested about, so you remember how he was stalking that woman who he liked?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It turns out she ends up being his publicist, and she thought the entire time that he was just interviewing her, but only watching to see her in her real life, and in that way evaluate if she would be a good publicist or not. I think that's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, he sort of just gets off scot-free for stalking a woman, and I don't know.
Well, if we're long as we're mentioning updates to books we've read in the past, the third issue of Sovereign came out this week. Well, good news, we finally have a storyline going on.
Oh, nice.
Yes, the book finally has the directions going in. It only took 3 issues. It's actually intriguing, but it's still kind of boring. I'm hoping the 4th issue is where it finally gets moving now that we got a storyline.
Is it good though? Like, are you enjoying it?
I think the 3rd act is where I'm starting to enjoy it now, because I'm starting to see there's a lot of interesting things going on. I think it still needs work, but I do like the fact that it's slowly improving. I kind of like to watch a comic that started off being bad, eventually start becoming its own good thing.
All right.
So, yeah, you want to discuss our little question?
I was not here for planning, so I think, Greg, you're going to have to introduce the question.
Okay, it's not so much a question, just a kind of general discussion. How do you guys feel about pull quotes on books? Does that affect the way that you purchase at all? Do you take it seriously? Before the podcast, I was talking to Jordan about how one of my favorite pull quotes that I've seen, I don't know about favorite, but one that just I always think about, is on the trade for Justice League Volume 1, or at least the New 52 Justice League, there's a pull quote that, I forget who it's from, but the pull quote reads, "A great book."
That's it.
Period. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's always made me laugh.
To me, pull quotes are just fine, and they don't really affect my decision. But I was kind of curious to see what other people think, even though it's not going to affect my judgment. I originally brought this whole idea up to begin with because of a quote, something I recently looked up. The recent trade for Catwoman #4 came out. Well, the cover was released on Amazon. I looked at the quote. It was from USA Today. It was said, "A gutsy change of pace." Oh, that really does not say a lot.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like much.
And here's the kicker about it. That quote is for the very first issue of Catwoman, #1, instead of any of the issues.
Oh, that's funny.
What, you mean
I
the
know.
one from way back in 2011 by Judd Winnick?
Yeah, not even for Anna City's run. They couldn't find a quote from her current books that was positive or sounded positive to twist.
Wow.
I know. Oh,
That's really disappointing.
I would have been kind of curious to see what they could have found that would have been somewhat positive.
It just shows desperation, I think, on the part of the publisher. I think with things like that, you'd be better off just kind of letting the work stand for itself and not have any pull quotes at all. But then again, I don't know if most readers are quite that discerning.
I like this one on Zero. I find that really interesting. Zero is changing comics. That makes me want to read it because it's sort of like get in on this because it'll only last so long and it's a big thing. You know?
It makes it sound important. It sounds like
you'll want to say that you've been that you were there.
Yeah, like remember when Zero revolutionized everything? I was watching, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes pull quotes can be also a lot of fun. Sam, you get the trades for Chew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They always have positive quotes, but always the last one. It always is something that sounds so silly or makes the book sound bad. Like this one for this is as bad as it sounds.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Greg, you're making a lot of noise.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, the true quotes always end in something that sounds silly or makes the book sound bad, like this one, as bad as it sounds, or I think the best part of Chew is out the shit in the background.
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah, I like that kind of self-awareness. That's
I think more books should do that.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of them can get away with it the way that Chew does.
But yeah, I think in books that are more self-aware, like Chew, Sex Criminals, something like that.
Yeah, I think comedy books can pull it off better because something that has a serious tone is I think it's much more inclined to say something like gut-wrenching tale of glory and amazing characters or something that tells you about the action, and I care more about like not that.
Okay, Greg, you're
Right.
still kind of out there, man.
Oh, am I? I'm sitting still.
Yeah.
Huh, alright.
That's about time though.
Oh, yes. And on that lovely note, well, thank you for joining us this week.
Thanks, guys. See
Yeah,
you
this
next
is
week.
Jordan, that was Sam, and that was Greg. We thank you for joining us this time. See you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.